Detroit to put a tough Cleveland series behind them and start anew against another Central Division foe. A 3-game series with the Tigers begins tonight inside Comerica Park. Welcome to Detroit, everyone. I'm Audra Martin. Minnesota Twins had a tough series against the Indians. They're hoping to start with a fresh slate here today against Detroit. But unfortunately, in the last couple of hours, they've learned that they'll have to bounce back without a couple key players. And that even though the trade deadline was 10 days ago, this team was not done making moves. In a handful of moves over the last 20 hours, the Twins placed Alberto Mejia on the disabled list with a strained wrist. But the big surprise last night was the news that they were sending Fernando Rodney to Oakland in exchange for pitching prospect Dakota Chalmers. The corresponding roster moves bring newly acquired Tyler Austin up from AAA along with Tyler Duffy. But Fernando Rodney was a very big part of this team on and off the field. So the question is now, how will they fill his role and his personality in the clubhouse?
It's tough, especially when a guy of that quality gets traded. He was, I mean, from here on out, you always have people ask who your favorite teammate is, and he's number 1 or 2. He's up there. He was an awesome guy. He just, I mean, a competitor. He's again 80 years old, still doing it. So he knows how to prepare. If you watch him, he's not a guy that's going to come in here and scream. He's not a vocal leader, but if you watch and just do everything that he does, you're going to be pitching until you're 42, 43 like he is. So. He's a fantastic guy and somebody who a lot of guys can learn from.
I'm not going to really name a closer. I think it's fairly obvious that we have a kind of a mix of pitchers out there that we can try to sort out the best we can if we get opportunities to close games out.
To get this series started on the right foot, the Twins turn to Irvin Santana in Game 1. Dick Bramer and Bert Blyleven take a look at how he's fared since his return. That's coming up next.
Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. The Twins will try their luck on the other side of Lake Erie. First of 3 between the Twins and the Detroit Tigers. Just the 7th meeting this year between the Twins and the Tigers. Interesting pitching matchup. Back in the day, Jordan Zimmerman was one of the hardest throwers in the National League, and Irvin Santana one of the hardest throwers in the American League, and they're trying to figure it out with a little less stuff and a little less velocity. And we welcome you to Comerica Park. Dick Bramer along with Bernd Blyleven. It'll be the 4th start for Irvin Santana this year, and the Twins are looking to see some improvement from start to start to start, and maybe some increased velocity.
Well, you know what? I'm a big opponent of trusting the fastball. And Santana's last start against the Kansas City Royals, yeah, he threw some fastballs, but it was the changeups that got him into trouble in the first inning. Gordon hitting a changeup for a base hit. A couple hitters later, Duda comes up and hits a changeup to straightaway center. Kansas City took an early 2-0 lead. In the 4th inning, it was Gordon again. Well, yeah, another changeup found the hole between first and third. So, yes, he's got a good changeup, but he has to trust the fastball. So far in his first 3 starts, you can see the changeup, the average against that, 400, the slider, the 4-seam. Look at the sinker right there, the 2-seam fastball. Opponents hitting only 143. And if you compare that to where he was last year, well, yeah, the fastball is about 3-4 miles an hour slower, but so is all the other pitches. So trust your fastball, Irvin Santana.
Twins have just 3 games left with the Cleveland Indians. They've got 13 left with the Detroit Tigers. So far, the season series split at 3 apiece. Game 7 coming up in a moment. Weekend. Hopefully good baseball as well. Without Audra Martin, Bert Blyleven, and Dick Bramer here. Tigers struggling, of course. They are in 3rd place in the American League Central. But yet they have played the Twins even up through 6 games so far this year, with plenty of baseball left between the 2 teams. And of course, both teams have undergone a lot of changes. There are now 13 Twins players on the 25-man roster who were with the team on opening day. Here's the batting order brought to you by Menards. Joe Mauer leading off, Eddie Rosario batting second, Jorge Polanco third, then Logan Forsythe, Max Kepler, Mitch Garver, Logan Morrison, Jake Cave, and A-Ray Adrianza.
And tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture, and that is Jordan Zimmerman making just his 16th start. He missed about 5 weeks due to some shoulder issues. And his last 4 starts have not gone very well. 0-3 with an ERA at 7.98. Even though he's coming off a pretty good start in his last start, he's trying to find himself. You know, he's kind of going through a transition of a hard thrower, as you mentioned, Dick, to he's using his curveball a lot, they say here in Detroit.
Both he and Irvin Santana would throw 97 miles per hour regularly in their youth, but they have got to try to figure out a way to get by with substantially less than that now. Strike 1 to Joe Mauer. He'll be followed by Eddie Rosario and Jorge Polanco. Yeah, specifically in his last 4 starts, only 21 innings pitched and 15 earned runs allowed by Zimmerman. Mauer back up the middle.
Hit the bag.
And does not hit the bag. Instead to the glove of Iglesias, 1 away. So 1 down, and that'll bring up Rosario.
That ball bounced right over the second base bag.
And the Tigers have moved a lot of players in and out of their lineup. The outfield has rookie Mike Gerber in left, Jones in center, veteran Castellanos in right field. Defense brought to you by Northland Ford. Candelario at third, Iglesias, Goodrum up the middle, Aducci at first, and James McCann behind the plate. And a strike on the outside corner to Eddie Rosario. On the outside corner again.
Yeah, Zimmerman has all 4 pitches: a fastball, curveball, that last pitch, the slider, and a very good changeup. It's in his 3rd season with the Tigers, his 10th major league season.
Hooked foul over by the tarp.
He became a free agent 3 years ago, and the Tigers signed him to a 5-year contract, and it just has not panned out for him at all.
Well, the Tigers were free spenders for many years trying to win a championship here, and of course that didn't happen. The front office, the current front office, has dealt the contracts that could be dealt. Justin Upton, Justin Verlander, and Zimmerman's is not one they've been able to move yet, even though he does not fit into the game plan here. The Tigers are in full rebuilding mode, and yet there are some veterans like Victor Martinez.
Well, you still need some veterans to lead some of these young kids, and same as the Twins, Santana. You look at Zimmerman, he's got a lot of major league experience, a lot of major league starts, a lot of major league innings. So you hope that he can get to where he's halfway decent to help a lot of these young kids.
2 hopper to Aducci, and he runs to the bag for out number 2. You saw, speaking of veterans, Ron Gardenhire, of course, in his first year managing the Tigers, replacing Brad Ausmus. 2 down now, Jorge Polanco. Got Angel Hernandez behind the plate, Bruce Dreckman at first, Chad Fairchild and Mike Estabrook. There's Bruce, wondering what's going to fly into his left ear tonight.
Yeah, hopefully nothing.
Got a moth pulled out of his ear a couple nights ago. And a first pitch strike to Polanco. Polanco with a big 3-run home run against Corey Kluber to tie the game in yesterday's finale in Cleveland. Now a fly to left, and running to the line is Gerber, still running, and he's not going to get there. That ball doinked for a base hit between Gerber and Iglesias.
Yeah, Gerber was playing pretty deep and left, and that ball kind of inside out. Not much you can do about that. Polanco gets a base hit, first hit of the ball game.
And as you, if you kind of imagine what a lineup might look like when a game is to be played, there's the ball placed perfectly, about 5 feet fair. And if you're wondering, I wonder how the Twins are going to line up tonight, you might have picked a Logan batting cleanup, but I doubt you would have picked Logan Forsythe. It is Forsythe hitting 4th and Morrison hitting 7th.
Well, you also stick somebody in there swinging a hot bat. 10 hits and 25 at-bats for Logan.
Mm-hmm. And the results have been very encouraging because he's getting a chance to play every day, something he did not have this year earlier with the Dodgers. He's played well in the field. Swung on and missed, 0-2. And Zimmerman, 12 pitches, 11 strikes.
Zimmerman making his 8th career start against the Twins. He has 3 wins, 3 losses, but the ERA at 6.87. 36 2/3 innings against the Twins. 28 earned runs allowed.
This one to right.
That
and
doink.
Castellanos is not going to get there. He's lucky to have caught the first hop. Turns out made a nice play, not only holding Polanco at third, but holding Forsythe at first. But if that ball got by him and rolled to the corner, Forsythe might have run a lap.
A couple doinks here for the Twins. The left-handed hitting Polanco hitting it down the left field line, and the right-hand hitting Forsythe hitting it down the right field line.
And Castellanos really got lucky here.
They're diving for the ball right there. Take a look at him. And somehow he is able to snare that ball in his glove. Yeah, you're right. That ball gets by him. Polanco probably scores.
Probably gets on the warning track and rolls all the way to the wall. Here's Kepler. Twins putting something together here with a couple of bloops after the second out.
We always say a couple bloops and a blast, right?
Yeah. They're the bloops. Now they need the blast. 1 strike.
Well, Kepler has 14 of those blasts.
On base to hit right around 20 home runs this year.
Kepler 3 hits and 7 at bats against Zimmerman, with no home run yet.
Up around the hands, 1-1.
Max 25 years old in his 4th season with the Twins. Made his debut here in Detroit back in September of 2015.
Grounded to third. Candelario fires across. Kepler retired in the Twins strand. A couple of runners in the first. First year, they're pitching okay, really struggling to score runs. And they're in 3rd place in the American League Central. The Menards batting order has Mike Gerber leading off. Then Jose Iglesias, Nicholas Castellanos, Jamer Candelario, Victor Martinez, Nico Goodrum, Jim Adducci, James McCann, and Jacoby Jones.
And tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. And Irvin Santana making his 4th start, his first against the Tigers this year. His 23rd career start against Detroit.
And a first pitch strike. Santana working quickly. I asked Garvin Alston and Paul Molitor about the pace of Santana's starts. He said, no, nothing intentional. He just is getting the ball and throwing it very quickly. 0-2. Missing inside.
But even when Irvin was with the Angels, I remember watching him. He always had a good pace about him on the mound.
1-2. And now 2-2. 91 miles per hour. Now it wasn't close to being a strike, but that's what the Twins are hoping for, that Santana can rediscover some of that lost velocity.
Just hit your spots like that.
At 90.
See?
Shaving the corner, one away.
And a strikeout for Santana, his 10th in 14, now 15 innings. Yeah, you know what? Again, talk so much about velocity, but if you can do that, Greg Maddux did a pretty good job of that. So did Tom Glavine. They never threw 95, 96. They knew how to pitch, and that's why I think Santana is going to make the adjustment. He's had almost 2,400 major league innings. He knows how to pitch. Doesn't walk a lot of guys. He'll pick up strikeouts, but as long as he hits his spots, he'll be fine.
Of course, the Twins over the last couple of years saw the struggles of Phil Hughes, who was trying to get by with diminished velocity. Hughes today designated for assignment by the Padres, and for San Diego, Phil pitched to an ERA of 6.10, so it was not working. 1-1 to Iglesias.
Yeah, last fastball up and in on Iglesias, who was 3 for 14 a lifetime against Santana. Santana's won 10 ball games against the Tigers in his career. He's lost 5.
Fouled back into the seats, 1-2.
This is a nice ballpark to pitch in. It's basically a pitcher's ballpark. 345 down the left field line. Then it shoots out to about 425, 420 straight away.
Stroke to left, and Rosario can't make the play. It looked like he was looking right up into the sun and might have lost it. And I think it hit him in the glove, but could have hit him in the chest just as easily.
Iglesias hit the ball sharply, and you see the shadows of Rosario once he walks back out to the position. It's pretty much straight toward the Tigers bullpen, saying that that sun is right in his eyes. So you see Rosario battling the sun, and then in and out of the glove. Almost got it on the rebound. And they give him a tough error.
Yeah, they give Rosario an error, and I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt, saying he was squinting into the sun. There's a high fly to center and an easy catch for Cave. Out number 2, Castellanos retired, and that'll bring up Candelario. Twins out in the field have Cave in center, Rosario in left, and Kepler in right. The defense brought to you by Northland Ford. Adrianza getting third base. Sano just getting a day off. Polanco, Forsythe up the middle. Mauer at first, and Mitch Garver behind the plate.
Yeah, I talked about the dimensions. You need somebody out in center field that has some speed, and you know, Cave has that speed. So even that ball right there, you can see how much room is out there.
It's the deepest center field in the major leagues at 420, and of course at Tiger Stadium it was another 20 feet beyond that center field fence. Missing the inside corner to Jeimer Candelario. Tigers are hoping, with all the auditions that they're holding this year, that Candelario might be one to keep. The power's there. Batting average needs some work.
He got traded over July 31st of last year for Alex Avila from the Cubs, and Justin Wilson was sent over to the Cubs.
You mentioned this is a good ballpark to pitch in. It's also a good lineup to pitch against. Tigers 14th in the league in runs scored. They've hit only 90 home runs. Twins just left Cleveland. The Indians have hit 160.
And the Tigers coming off a dreadful road trip again, Oakland and Anaheim, where they're 0-6 and scored a total of 8 runs. They were shut out 3 times.
1-1 to Candelario.
So when I saw Gardy this afternoon, of course I asked him how he is doing, and he did not good. Not, you know, because of the road trip. It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But he said, you know what, Bert, one thing, these guys are busting their tail in before me, and that's good to hear.
You know, they don't have the talent that they had, and of course they used to field one of the fiercest, most powerful lineups in either league. And now they're last in the major leagues in home runs hit. 2-1.
Candelario, only 24 years old, switch hitter. Couple stints with the Cubs in 2016 and 17, and over to the Tigers.
2-2.
He spent a couple days on a disabled list back in May. Left wrist tendonitis.
And a swing and a miss and a good inning for Irvin Santana. An error, but Iglesias is left at first and we're scoreless heading to the second. The Twins hope to take advantage of that, having won just one game in Cleveland. Mitch Garver will lead off the second, then Logan Morrison and Jake Cave.
Sad to say, the Twins are also in a rebuilding mode with a lot of the trades they've made over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So both these clubs looking for the future.
Strike one on the outside corner.
Zimmerman doing a good job getting strike one, 6 for 6 so far.
17 pitches, 15 strikes.
Well, this is one thing he's always been able to do.
Driven to right. Castellanos glides back and has to reach at the end to pull it down, one away.
Nice catch by Castellanos, going back and making that nice catch. Zimmerman has been one of the best as far as not allowing a lot of walks. He's averaging in his career almost 1,500 innings, 1.92 walks per 9. Only better is Corey Kluber, who the Twins saw yesterday. And he did not walk anybody.
No. There's Logan Morrison. Twins have been patiently waiting for Morrison to get his bat going. It just has not happened. Now Tyler Austin's on the team. He was called up today, and with left-handed pitchers going in the next 2 games for Detroit, may take some at-bats away from Morrison.
Yeah, you know what, Logan, yeah, he's got 15 home runs, but it's the inconsistency, the lack of hits from time to time, hitting only 188. Twins expected a lot more out of Morrison. They just have not gotten it yet.
2-1.
You know, you come off a year like he had last year. Yeah, he struck out a lot, but he hit 246 for the Rays. He drove in 85 runs while hitting 38 home runs.
That's fouled away.
He's a powerful man when he can make contact.
2-2.
See if James Rowson can stay in the game today. He got thrown out yesterday.
Chopper to the shortstop Iglesias. And Morrison retired 2 down. And it'll bring up Jake Cave. Hey, this is an important day in Twins history. And you were there, I think.
Mr. Killebrew?
Yeah. Took a long time for Harmon to hit number 500.
1971.
And he did it. And then it didn't take him very long after that to hit 501.
Unlike Jim Thome when he hit 599 the next at bat, 600.
You know, that's you know, every time I walk in here now I think of that. The greatest Twins memory at Tiger Stadium, of course, had to have been you guys winning the playoffs there in '87. But when I walk in here, I can still see Thome hitting number 600 into the bullpen area. High and tight, and it's 1-1.
I believe it was right over the original light beer.
Against Daniel Schlereth, another lefty.
Yeah.
Well, Twins TV has been able to bring you 2 600th home runs over the year. Thome did it for the Twins, and last year Albert Pujols did it against the Twins.
Jake Cave has never faced Zimmerman. This is their first appearance.
Drilled to center. That ball's hit pretty well. And that's over the head of Jones. Cave to second. And he'll try one more. Well, he falls down, and now he's got to scramble back, and he gets there safely. The ball thrown away, but McCann ends up picking it up in front of the Twins dugout. I did a little bit of everything there.
Yeah, boy, we have seen off of Cave's bat the ball just jump from time to time, and he hit that ball to the deepest part of the field, some 400 feet away.
Thought Cave was going to pull
Well, sniper.
Ben Revere there. He did a somersault, and then Revere went on to third base.
Well, he lost his footing a little bit rounding second base and slipped, and as Rich Delmasic was here, whoops, sniper got him. And he scoots back, dives into second to throw over the head. Ouch. Hopefully he's all right.
Ray Adrianza.
That's a double for Cave. She could give him like double in the third.
Yeah, you got to keep going to third and do what Ben Revere did. Remember the somersault, and he went on to third base. Twins have 3 hits, all with 2 outs. They'll need another one here to score a run, and Adrianza swings through strike 1.
Yeah, for Cave, that's his 9th double of the year. 3rd hit for the Twins. And he'll score on a base hit right here off the bat of Adrianza.
Adrianza with 20 runs batted in on the year. Down and or away, 1-1. Fouled back. 1-2. Miguel Sano, when he was in Fort Myers and even when he was in Rochester, he did not play every day, and so being called up to the big leagues, he has been an everyday player. And Tigers have left-handed starting pitching going tomorrow and Sunday, so Paul Molitor thought this would be a good day to give Miguel a starting assignment off. That meant Adrianza got the start tonight at third base. 1-2. And now 2-2.
Zimmerman, 32 years old, originally the number 2 pick by the Washington Nationals back in 2007. Out of the University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
2-2 to Adrianza. Lifted to left, and Gerber toward the line makes the catch, and the Twins leave another runner on after a 2-out hit.
And today's scoop from the clubhouse is a little bit more on Alberto Mejia going to the disabled list. Yesterday, his throwing session did not go well. He had discomfort in that wrist, especially when he was throwing sliders. But it wasn't just the wrist. He was also feeling it in the bicep. So he is back in Minnesota for testing, and Sunday's starter has not yet officially been announced. Assistant hitting coach Rudy Hernandez moved into the dugout those couple of days when Paul Molitor was gone. Well, the team ended up getting the okay from Major League Baseball to allow him to permanently bounce between the cages and the bench. It's a big help for him to be there to help translate for some of those Spanish-speaking players. And after a busy few days, the Twins are not expecting to use Trevor Hildenberger or Gabriel Moya today. And in case you guys were wondering, no one, as of right now, plans on using the bullpen cart now that Fernando Rodney is gone.
That's right. That was here.
Thank you.
Yeah. 2 strikes now to Victor Martinez and Nico Goodrum and Jim Adduci. Santana with 17 pitches, a dozen strikes, a couple of strikeouts in a scoreless first inning. And Martinez lunges and fouls one back.
Of course, Martinez has been around a long time. Irvin Santana's been around a long time. A lot of at-bats, 40 of them in his career against Irvin Santana, and 15 hits, a .375 batting average with 4 home runs.
In the last year of his deal with the Tigers, 0-2 to Martinez. Martinez might fall victim to the way rosters have evolved. It wasn't that long ago where a contending team could afford to carry a pinch hitter, somebody who could come off the bench and pinch hit, but 25-man rosters really don't allow that anymore. With the 8-man bullpen, 5 starters, you got 3 bench players. There's probably not a contending team out there that could afford to carry someone like Martinez simply as a pinch hitter.
And also as just a DH.
Right.
I think a lot of times a ground ball right there, backhanded by Joe, knocked down. You got plenty of time. And a 3-1 putout. You know, a lot of clubs will use that DH as give somebody an off day. Kind of what Joe Mauer has done with Morrison, and kind of switch here and there, but Martinez really can't play a position anymore, so he's their DH every day. He's a great hitter.
Was a great hitter. He's hitting just .239.
Yeah, I still think he's a great hitter. Whether he's hitting .230 or 9, he's always been a great hitter.
Here's Nico Goodrum outside a ball. Goodrum kind of a utility player, being asked to play a lot of second base here. Of course, a year ago, Ian Kinsler was still here. Kinsler's changed teams a couple of times and now is on the disabled list with the Red Sox.
Yeah, Goodrum originally signed by the Twins back in 2010, the Twins' #2 pick.
3-0.
Came up with the Twins last year, played in 11 ball games, just 1 hit and 17 at-bats. Became a free agent, signed with the Tigers over the winter.
Drilled to center. Cave is back, still going back, and he will track it down on the warning track. A superb catch in center by Jake Cave.
Well, there's a dimensions here at straightaway center. I said you need somebody with some speed that can catch especially balls like this. Great concentration. Goodrum can't hit it any better than he did right here. And Cave, you see, he went a long way for this ball. And right on the warning track, makes a great catch. And the padded wall slows him down for the second out. And Irvin Santana says, thank you very much.
Pitch is up now to Jim Adduci, the first baseman.
That was a great catch.
Swing and a foul, 1-1.
Those will be on highlight reels right there. Cave will get all the credit, but they never give it to the pitcher. You know, Santana gave that pitch to where Goodrum could hit it right and make a great play.
Another one drilled to center, and Cave is there. How many of Kirby Puckett's Gold Gloves did he give you for that?
None. None.
Netcast AI powered by AWS, giving the particulars on a wonderful catch by Cave.
Do you know that you just said who was going to catch that? Bobby Wilson.
Bobby Wilson probably said, I could have caught that. It's in my back pocket.
He would have never said that. Bobby Wilson knows better.
Joe Mauer will lead off the third against Jordan Zimmerman.
Yeah, Joe almost got a base hit up the middle of the first inning. Almost hit the bag at second base. He's got good numbers against Zimmerman. 6 hits now and 18 at-bats. Who isn't Joe hitting at least 300 against or better?
And missing ball 1. I'd like to see Joe finish the season strong. Still has a chance to get the batting average over 300. Inside a ball.
Well, he came into this year his 15th season as a .308 career hitter. Joe Mauer, 6-time All-Star, 3-time batting champ, MVP, of course, in 2009 for the Twins.
Hit .305 last year, drove in 71 runs. 2-1 to Mauer. Chopped to short. Easy play for Iglesias. 1 down. Friday, August 17th, you can join your friends in the Rose Garden at Target Field. Cheer on the Twins and Eddie Rosario as they take on the Tigers. You can purchase your tickets through this special ticket package and get a Rosie's Rose Garden t-shirt with your ticket. Visit twinsbaseball.com/Rose Garden and get yours today. Rosario hit a ground ball to Adduci at first. Bunted foul. 1 strike.
Not a bad try right there. Iglesias as a third baseman. Candelario is over by second base. Go ahead and lay it down. Get on base. They're going to give it to you. Now Iglesias comes in a little bit at short.
Swung on and missed. 0-2. A big pop-up, short right field.
That baby's up there.
Castellanos waits a long time, makes the catch out number 2. Twins have 3 hits. They have all come after the second out, and now there are 2 out in the third. And Polanco, who singled in the first inning here, hit a big 3-run home run against Kluber yesterday.
Boy, sure that in the 6th inning, that tied the game at 4 apiece. And then that dreadful bottom of the 9th, the last couple days in Cleveland for the Twins. Losing both games on walk-off hits.
I asked you this yesterday. The 12 walk-offs, not a club record. That's 15. But I asked you yesterday before the game after the 11th walk-off whether you remember that the '87 Twins were walked off a dozen times, because I don't remember a one of them. Tapped foul.
I had 2 eggs and bacon. Crispy bacon for breakfast and crispy hash browns.
At Leo's?
That's what I remember.
Yeah, okay. That was this morning. That wasn't back in 1987.
That was kind of this afternoon.
Oh, was it?
Wasn't
okay.
in '87, no.
But I was surprised to see that the Twins were, they didn't call him a walk-off back then yet. I think that was Dennis Eckersley's a phrase that he coined a few years after 1987. But I don't remember a lot of heartbreaking losses in '87 on the road.
All I remember is us celebrating the World Series championship.
Fouled back 1 and 2.
And I barely remember that. For other reasons.
Club record is 15 walk-offs. That was back in 1964. One and 2 to Polanco. Hit a pop fly single in the first inning.
But you know what, walk-offs, yeah, you don't like to lose that way, but it is an exciting game, whether you win or lose. You know, those were the last couple games in Cleveland. They were pretty good games.
Twins have walked the Indians off 3 times, and now the Indians have walked the Twins off twice. That gives you some idea about how competitive the season series has been. 1-2 to Polanco. Pitch number 45 for Zimmerman, and fouled back.
Now Zimmerman coming off an outing where he threw the 2 less pitches than he had as far as in one ball game. He threw 103 pitches in his last start in Oakland. Pitched pretty good. 6 1/3 innings. He gave up only 2 runs. One of his better starts. He's had only 4 quality starts in his first 15 starts.
Driven to the gap in left center, chased by Gerber, and he won't get there. Great at bat for Polanco, and it bounces into the Twins bullpen for a double. All the 2-strike fouls, and then he drove one to the gap, and it one hopped over the wall.
Another good at bat for Polanco.
And another 2-out hit for the Twins. All 4 hits have come after the second out.
Weighted back nicely right here on this fastball away at 88. And just hit it sharply the other way. And bouncing over for a ground rule double.
Forsythe hit a pop fly single down the right field line in the first inning. Twins have put runners in scoring position after the second out, but they've all, at least prior to this third inning, come up 1 hit short to produce a run. Ball 1. Fouled away 1-1. Polanco, speedy runner at second, hit to the outfield, should get the Twins on the board. Knocked down by Zimmerman, going to be a tough play, and thrown away, and now Polanco will score. Goodrum with a throw he had no business making. It'll be a base hit for Forsythe.
And a mistake right there by the defense. Goodrum right there. You're right. He should not have thrown that ball. Zimmerman did knock it down and slowed the ball down a lot right there. Got a glove on it. And Goodrum making the throw, but it's high. And Polanco right there, held up by Gene Glenn, but then told to go when he sees that ball get away.
No run batted in for Forsythe, but he does have his second hit. The Twins do have the game's first run. Here's Kepler, hit a ground ball to third, his first time out.
And the error will be charged to Goodrum.
Ball 1. Strike called 1-1. Kepler has not to this point this year taken that next step that the Twins think can be taken. He came into this year hitting .239, and that's right about where his batting average has stagnated, if you will, for most of the year. Got it up into the 240s before the road trip, but now it's back down in the 230s again.
He had 243 last year.
A high pop up down the right field line, and Castellanos. It's the second baseman Goodrum who makes the catch in foul territory. A couple of 2-out hits and the game's first run for the Twins in the third.
of the season in baseball. Boston's Mookie Betts started it out with the single, the triple in the second, double in the fourth, and then his final at bat in the ninth inning, a solo shot to left field for the first cycle of his career. It was not enough to get his team the win, but what a season Mookie Betts is having, guys.
Yeah, thank you. I think if you picked an MVP right now, it would be that little spark plug right there. Wow.
It's hard to overlook Lindor and Ramirez, but I agree with you. You got to go with Betts with Boston, and the Red Sox may win 115 games this year.
Yeah, we got 81 right now.
James McCann will lead off the third inning for Detroit against Irvin Santana.
81 and 35 of the Boston Red Sox.
Checked his swing. No. Ball one. McCann, Jones, and Gerber here in the third. Santana hasn't given up a hit.
McCann in his fifth season with the Tigers. Offensively, struggling at hitting .220.
2-0.
Tigers come into this ballgame hitting .239 as a ball club. That is 14th in the American League.
And now 3-0.
Get back to throwing strikes. Santana with a couple strikeouts coming in the first inning. No walks.
And back in the zone, 3-1.
Santana, if a win here tonight, would be his 150th major league win.
Tapper on 2 hops to Polanco. One down.
Let's take a look at our Pizza Ranch for the win. And what do they need? A quality start. Over the last 12 starts, the Twins have had only one quality start. So they got to get back to having good quality starts by the starting staff. Keep you in the game, even though bullpen's done an okay job. Offense has picked up, but you rely on a pitcher going at least 6 and give me 3 earned runs or less. That's not asking that much.
Here's Jacoby Jones getting a chance to play some in center field. Up until a couple of weeks ago, Leonis Martin played in center field, but the Tigers traded him to the Indians, and while we were in Cleveland, he became ill. And apparently it's a much more serious situation than we had imagined or were told. Martin is in the Cleveland Clinic and in intensive care. Here's a chopper, and that is a fair ball over the reach of Adrianza. Jones will go to second, and he's going to hold up there, and the throw now to second, and it gets by Forsythe, and that allows Jones to go to third. Rosario threw behind the runner when he was equidistant between second and third.
Yeah, Jones did that. Him and his speed, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted Rosario to throw that ball behind him. He deked him because Jones and his speed thought about third, but then went about halfway, and that high chopper just out of the reach of Adrianza into that corner. Rosario, by the time he can get there, picks up and sees that Jones is halfway, and Jones alertly slides safely into third.
Tying run at third, one down, and now Gerber, who went down looking his first time up. And there's ball one.
And they give Jones a triple.
No.
Well, that's what the official scorer said. I don't understand that, but
that's a double, and he went to third on the throw.
No overthrow.
Fly ball center field, should tie the game. Cave way back there makes the catch. That's out number 2, and Jones, after his triple, ties the game.
And Gerber picking up the RBI. That's just his second major league RBI, and this is his 10th game for the Tigers in his rookie season.
Bases empty, 2 down, a tie game now, and here's Iglesias. Reached on a fielding error, charged to Rosario.
So the deke worked by Jones and ends up tying the ball game on the sacrifice fly. I agree. I think it is a double and then advance on the overthrow.
1-0 to Iglesias. Been a few well-hit balls against Irvin Santana, including Iglesias' liner to left field that Rosario dropped. And then ironically, the lone hit for the Tigers was a chopper bounced over the head of the third baseman. 2-1. Squaring and bunting foul. 2-2.
So many great shortstops in the American League, and this guy is one of them. He just doesn't get mentioned that frequently. Iglesias was a shortstop for the Red Sox for 3 seasons, in his 5th season here. Very steady.
That's hit well to left, but Rosario has room to make the catch. Twins score in the top of the 3rd, and the Tigers score in the bottom.
That came on the board first on a double by Polanco, and then an infield base hit by Forsythe. And an error by Goodrum allows Polanco to score, make it a 1-0 ball game. But a triple, they say, by Jones, should be a double and an overthrow. The throw to second allows him to get to third base. And then the sacrifice fly off the bat of Gerber ties the game at 1 apiece.
Gerber tied it. Now Garver will try to untie it. He'll be followed by Logan Morrison and Jake Cave. Down and away, ball 1. Garver hit a fly ball to Castellanos his first time up. Inside, 2-0. It's interesting. He'll be sure to play out the contract, but can you imagine a greater contrast for Zimmerman, the team that he signed with and the team he will finish pitching with in this contract here with the Tigers? I mean, the Tiger team that he signed with was a contending team and all-stars all over the place. Now for the balance of the contract, he's going to be the senior statesman and by far the most experienced guy on the team. There's a base hit to left. Garver's aboard with a leadoff single.
Well, again, I mentioned before, you know, even though Zimmerman, I mean, he signed that 5-year deal, he's getting $25 million a year.
And nobody's going to hold a telethon for him. But I mean, you go every year into spring training, and you know, by the end of the contract, the Tiger roster is going to be pretty unrecognizable from what it was when he signed.
Well, he has struggled here 2+ years. He's had some injuries that's put him on a disabled list. When he signed that big deal, he was averaging over 200 innings per year for 4 straight years. And he'd won 19, 12, 14, 13, and it just didn't pan out.
Morrison bunts it foul, trying to string together a couple of hits here. Well, some people in baseball think the Tigers did not do their due diligence, that Zimmerman's velocity was on its way down even in his last 3 years with the Nationals, and that what the Tigers have seen from him on the mound is nothing more than a continuation of what was evident with the Nationals.
I'm going to defend Zimmerman because, you know what, 200 innings in today's game, would you say 8 guys did it last year?
Right, yeah.
It's a rarity, and he did that, basically averaged that a little bit more for 4 straight years. Became a free agent. They were looking for pitching help, and they paid the price.
Strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-2 now to Morrison.
It just hasn't panned out. 2016, Zimmerman made only 18 starts, 9 wins. Last year, 29 starts, only 8 wins. This year, he was injured. Only 4 wins in 15 starts.
0-2 to Morrison. Double play grounder. Goodrum to short. Iglesias to first, double play. 2 down in the 4th. That'll bring up Cave. Stretch it out on the grass at Target Field. Yoga night presented by United Healthcare, Wednesday, September 5th. Participants will receive a Twins branded yoga mat, Twins game tickets, and an on-field yoga class. You can reserve your spot today at twinsbaseball.com/yoga.
Logan Morrison wanted the Twins to look at that, but after the review, the play will go 4-6-3.
Twins finally got a hit with less than 2 outs, and then the next at bat, it's a double play grounder. Here is Cave, cracked a double. Might have been a triple, but he spun out rounding second base. Outside, ball 1. Checked his swing and took ball 2.
You agree with me what little I have seen Jake Cave, and you know, the ball, when he makes good contact, the ball jumps off his bat.
Yeah, I think as the Twins hopefully will enjoy the day soon. Grounder to short. Oh, what a pickup by Iglesias. That ball hit the mound and got to Iglesias with a little extra topspin, and he played it marvelously for the 3rd out of the inning.
I mentioned he's a good shortstop. Yeah, American League has a lot of good ones. Here in Detroit, they have a good one.
sense right away, but the Tigers have cut the number 47 into center field because on Sunday they're going to retire Jack Morris's number 47.
Yep, very nice. Also, Alan Trammell's number.
Later in the month, not on Sunday, and we're going to bring you some of the ceremony on Sunday. And yeah, a nice tribute by the Tigers, well deserved for Jack, and we're happy to point that out, that they've cut the grass here in honor of Jack Morris. Castellanos with a 2-0 count.
Look at the names he's joining.
And Cobb did not have his number retired here because back then they didn't wear numbers. Popped up back into the seats, out of play. And it's been a great year of baseball history here in Detroit, because you saw Charlie Gehringer's retired number, Hank Greenberg. And then you saw Hal Newhouser's number 16. That number was retired. Newhouser had to wait nearly 50 years to get into the Hall of Fame. He was a two-time American League MVP as a pitcher in 44 and 45. And the induction was, I think, in the late 90s. But in terms of chronology of careers, the Tigers had gone from Al Kaline, who retired in the early 70s, to Jack Morris and Alan Trammell this year between Hall of Fame inductions, excluding Gehringer, who pitched, or not Gehringer, Newhouser, who pitched in the 40s. 2-2 to Castellanos. Sounded like he might have cracked his bat, and Adrianza fires across, one away. One down in the fourth, and let's check in with Audra Martin.
Well, guys, speaking of Twitter, I have your official results from yesterday. If anybody missed the broadcast yesterday, Dick and Bert were debating between having umpires call balls and strikes or switching to a computer. And here you go, guys. Over 1,600 votes, and 63% of fans on my Twitter page says they want to keep it the way it is. Let the umpires do their jobs. Most of the reaction was similar to what Bert was saying. The human element needs to stay. You know, players can make mistakes, umpires make mistakes as well. Somebody else pointed out that if you bring in computers to call balls and strikes, you might as well bring in a pitching machine to throw the ball. Everybody just, when it comes to the debate, people all for the umpires being able to do their job, guys.
Now, you were suspiciously absent for a while last night. We all went out to dinner last night when we got here. I suspect you probably voted several hundred times for the umpires.
Actually, I was at the same table you were at.
2-1.
Well, I mean, everybody has an opinion. I appreciate everybody, over 1,600 people participating, and it's nice to get that feedback of what the fans want. This is a fans' game. You know, there's been a couple errors already in this ball game. You think that they wanted to make errors? Well, no. You think umpires come to the ballpark and say, boy, I'm going to really, get this one person? No, I don't think so.
And a walk to Candelario with one down.
And the first walk for Santana. First walk of the ball game for either side.
Hey, this is going to be kind of neat. Join us Tuesday, a special 1-hour show, Twins Live batting practice. And we'll be live at Target Field for an all-access look at the Twins prep for their matchup with Pittsburgh. Anthony, Roy, and Tim will break it all down and have live interviews with players on the field. Twins Live batting practice Tuesday at 4:30.
That's kind of cool that they're doing that, because the players are a little more relaxed in batting practice. And
no, but we're down there. We're going to have to be on our best behavior now, because there's going to be cameras down there. And
me, come on.
One strike to Victor Martinez.
Well, you get a ground ball right here, you get an easy double play if you can get a ground ball.
That's one of the issues, too, during his second inning at bat. We were talking about in years past, a team might be interested in picking up a Victor Martinez as a pinch hitter, but you would also then need a pinch runner. So you would really need any team that would have Martinez on the roster for playoff purposes. A playoff push as a bench player would need to occupy two spots. There's a fly ball left field, plenty of hang time for Rosario. And that's out number 2. And that'll bring up Nico Goodrum. DQ combination, and the last month or so, Tigers have really struggled. 15 home runs in the last 30 days, and a sub 200 batting average. And Goodrum nearly got an extra base hit, sending Cave all the way to the fence in center field, 420 feet away for the second out of the second inning.
Cave made a great catch on the warning track and banged into the wall.
Tigers have just one hit. Jacoby Jones with his 1-out quotation marks triple. Fouled back, 1 strike.
Goodrum, 26 years old, 8 seasons in the Twins minor leagues, a .250 hitter, 42 home runs, stole 122 bases over those 8 seasons.
1 strike.
Candelario at first base. He has 2 stolen bases in 4 attempts.
Check swing foul. 2 strikes. Tigers don't do a lot of base running. 38 steals and 54 tries.
That's actually
the Twins.
Yeah.
The Tigers actually run a little bit more than the Twins,
yeah,
with 53 steals in 80 tries. 0-2. Taken low.
Well, for Ervin Santana here today, his 380th major league start. Now he has over 2,400 innings pitched in the big leagues, averaging 2.8 walks per 9 innings, 7.2.
Driven to right. He went down and got it. And another home run against the Twins for Nico Goodrum. A 2-run home run, and it's 3-1 Detroit.
Well, that's a golf shot right there. Goodrum with his 11th home run of the year. And it's the 5th home run that Santana has allowed in now 4 starts. He did give up 3 home runs a couple starts ago.
11 home runs for Goodrum, 3 of them against the Twins.
Yeah. See the curveball? Went down nicely with that uppercut swing.
Replay brought to you by Dodge.
And he said, you know what, I can't hit it to center field because that's an out. I can pull it over to the right field wall and get a home run, which he did.
Here's a Ducey. Up and away, ball 1.
Well, the Tigers take a 3-1 lead.
1-0. Hooked, foul. Last year, Goodrum had 17 at bats for the Twins, got 1 hit, and struck out 10 times. And this year, he's hit 3 home runs against them. 2-1.
Ducey, 33 years old, in his 2nd season with the Tigers. Played a couple years in Korea. He was let go by the Rangers so he could go over there. Made his major league debut when he was with the Texas Rangers against the Twins in Minnesota. Won 1 for 2 off of Kevin Correa, but the Twins won the ball game 4-2.
And a high fastball gets a foul tip and strike 3, but a 1-out walk and a 2-out home run have put the Tigers in front 3-1. Tigers have a 3-1 lead, but the Pepsi fans of the game hoping the Twins can get things turned back around on a beautiful evening for baseball in Detroit. And A-Ray Adrianza will lead off the 5th inning. Nico Goodrum, 21 at bats against the Twins. He's hit 3 home runs. He's driven in 6 runs, has 7 hits. Adrianza hit a fly ball to left to end the 2nd inning. Strike over the inside corner. Zimmerman stake to a lead now.
Yeah, Twins have 6 hits, but 5 of those 6 hits have come with 2 outs.
That's to right, and that'll drop in front of Castellanos. A leadoff single for Adrianza here in the 5th. That'll bring up Mauer.
Garver ended up starting the last inning with a base hit. So hit number 7 for the Twins.
Mauer with 2 ground balls to short.
And we don't need that now.
No. Nope, that double to left center field would look better here. Again, I had a conversation with Joe the other day about shifting, and he gets shifted in the infield and of course in the outfield in opposite directions. But he says he stands in the box and he looks, sees where the other team is playing him, and he tries to use that as a tip as to where he's going to be pitched. Strike at the knees, 1 strike. If you stand out there and they've got 3 infielders on one side of the field, then chances are you're going to get pitched inside. And here they're playing pretty straight up in the infield and the outfield. Outside, and it's 1-1. Twins trying to string some things together here, down a couple of runs. And Adrianza gets back.
Yeah, Adrianza, 4 stolen bases in 4 attempts. And McCann behind the plate, pretty good throwing arm. Zimmerman utilized that slide step, another throw over. It's been 5 stolen bases against him in 9 attempts over his first 15 starts.
One and one to Mauer. And a strike call, 1-2.
Looked like the slider right there.
Talked about how little the Twins have run on the bases in terms of stealing bases. You can see Joe's in the infield pulling a lot of balls to second. He's hit 2 of them up the middle to the shortstop tonight. Zimmerman paying quite a bit of attention to Adrianza, but he hasn't budged from first base. 1-2. 2-2. That's something that I think a lot of Twins fans would like to see change. I don't know how you do it. Of course, the team would be stealing a lot more bases if Byron Buxton were on the team.
But you can't steal first.
No. But I mean, you know, these are guys like Rosario and Kepler. They're approaching their prime. They, you know, should be able to steal some bases along the way. Polanco. Great stop at first by Adduci, and he gets the force at second. And Mauer nearly pulled one down the line, but instead Adduci turns in a nice play, one away.
He made a great play right there. That ball gets by him. Adrianza scoots over to third. Instead, he's forced out at second base. As a first baseman, you hold on that runner and then you jump off, and you see Ducey diving to his right. And gets a force out at second. Iglesias there for the force out. Nice defensive play right there by Ducey.
And now Rosario, a ground ball to first and a fly ball to right. Driven down the right field line, a foul ball, and into the seats, 1 strike.
Zimmerman, no walks in the ball game, no strikeouts. He's given up 14 home runs.
Liner to Goodrum. A well hit ball for out number 2. We'll bring up Polanco. Join the Twins season ticket holder family today and get the best seats at the best price, and be instantly enrolled in our Sweet Spot benefits and rewards program. Benefits include a 10% discount on food, beverage, and merchandise, early entry on select dates to watch Twins batting practice, and much more. Visit twinsbaseball.com/season tickets to learn more. Twins got a leadoff single. Now 2 outs later, Polanco will hit. He has a single and a double tonight. Strike at the knees. .73 pitches for Zimmerman, 53 strikes. To Ducey, and that takes care of that. Twins leave a runner aboard in the 5th. Report Aaron Slegers with some ongoing shoulder issues was pulled off his rehab assignment after having some discomfort in a bullpen session, and he's had right shoulder inflammation going back to the middle of July. Twins haven't officially announced who the starter is going to be here for the finale on Sunday, and if not for Slegers' shoulder problems, he might have been a candidate, but that's not the case. James McCann will lead off the bottom of the 5th with the Tigers up a pair. Up and in, ball 1. 65 pitches for Santana. His pitch counts have gone backwards. In his first start, he threw 97 pitches. In his next start, 88. And in his most recent start, only 78 pitches. So in addition to everything else, Irvin would like the pitch count to go back the other direction. 1-1. 2-1. Foul back. Injuries keep piling up in baseball. Angels put Mike Trout on the disabled list with a bad wrist.
Yeah, Kensley Jansen in the hospital.
It's a little more serious situation with an irregular heartbeat. He's going to be out for a month. Joaquin Soria on the disabled list today and suffered a groin injury in that awful Brewer loss yesterday. Two and two from Santana to McCann, then Jones and Gerber. Mentioned the Tigers, of course, for several years took a run at it, trying to win a World Series here. For Mr. Illich, high fastball at 88, strikes out. McCann, one down.
And strikeout number 4 for Irvin.
And actually, to simplify it, you could say that Mr. Illich was trying to win a World Series from Mr. Illich in the Detroit area. He was the one signing the checks.
Good fastball, letter high inside.
When the Tigers were trying to get over the top and win a World Series, you know, they had great pitching here with Verlander. Scherzer was here for a while. Anibal Sanchez
Doug
at the peak of his performance. Rick Porcello. But they couldn't quite get it done. And in addition to some of the contracts that they signed, hit hard down the line but foul, that they have tried to get rid of and have succeeded in getting rid of some of them. They also traded some prospects that might have come in handy now. Eugenio Suarez was here and he was dealt away. He's become a really good player with the Reds. Corey Knebel, who had a terrible outing for the Brewers last night, was dealt from the Tigers. Foul back. Avisail Garcia was here for a while. One and two. It seems like the teams that last in a dynasty type fashion are very cautious with the prospects they give up while they're winning. And a called third strike, 2 down.
3 straight strikeouts for Santana.
And back to the top of the order, and Mike Gerber.
And number 5 in the ball game. So straight over the top fastball, good angle, caught the lower part of the strike zone, and Jones takes it.
Gerber drove in a run with a fly ball as for a second time up. Struck out looking in the first. Santana on the verge perhaps of wrapping up the 5th inning. He's given up just 2 hits. One of them was a triple that led to a run, the other a home run after a 1-out walk. That's been it. 1-1.
Gerber, you see the numbers, just in his 10th major league game. A couple different stints with the Tigers this year.
Down and in, 3-1. '80th pitch coming up for Irvin Santana. And he missed outside. Second walk issued by Santana. Iglesias will bat, but first we'll hear from Audra Martin.
Guys, tonight's showstopper is Giancarlo Stanton, who honestly might as well be the official StatCast mascot. Scott. Last night, he crushed his 28th home run of the season, and it left his bat at 121.7 miles per hour. That is the hardest hit home run in the StatCast era, passing up Aaron Judge. Those two teammates are unbelievable, guys. They have the 13 hardest hit homers in StatCast history.
Well,
Wow, 121. We show 104, 105. Wow, I mean, he is one strong man. True.
mentioned that coming into play today, the Tigers had hit just 90 home runs. The Yankees had, coming into play today, more than twice that many, 186 home runs to the Tigers 90. 1-1.
If you put Yankee Stadium's right field, that's probably right where Kepler's standing. That's the wall right there. I mean, this is a big ballpark. I'm not saying that the Tigers are going to out slug the Yankees. They have a great slugging lineup, but it also depends on the ballpark. Look at Colorado. How many balls are hit out of that ballpark?
Well, you and I are old enough to remember when this ballpark was even bigger.
Yeah.
To left field, left center.
The bullpens weren't even out there.
1-1. Deep down the line. And a home run for Iglesias. Again following a walk, and it's 5-1.
Well, Iglesias came into the ball game just 3 hits and 14 at bats against Santana. He'd never hit a home run off of him, and he does here. His 5th home run of the year. It's a 5-1 ball game.
Well, 5 earned runs on just 3 hits allowed, but they've all been extra base hits.
Well, Tigers in 6 games on the West Coast scored a total of 8 runs in 6 games. And they put 5 runs on the board here by the 5th inning.
There's Castellanos. Castellanos with a fly to center and a ground ball to third. Now to right, and Kepler retreats a few steps to close out the inning, but the Tigers do some 2-out damage and now lead 5-1. Twin Cities. by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. Twins playing from behind again. A couple of Tiger two-run home runs, the most recent by Iglesias. And Logan Forsythe will lead off the sixth for the Twins. He's got two singles against Jordan Zimmermann. Missing inside, ball one.
Yeah, that was pitch number 75 for Zimmermann. 54 strikes.
Twins have at least one hit in every inning. Out hitting the Tigers 7-3. 1-1. Two more years left in Zimmerman's contract. 1-2.
Good breaking ball, good location there. The last two pitches, down and away.
On the ground, rolling away from Candelario, and now the ball bounces away from Adduci and into the camera well. Well, wherever Forsythe puts the ball in play, he ends up getting on base. Little pop fly single in the first. He got a single in the third. He'll end up at second here after a couple of errors might be charged to Candelario. At least one.
Well, just a routine ground ball to Candelario. You see him play it and boxed it up, and then short hop Adduci. The ball gets away and into the dugout.
Just one error, I guess, charged to Candelario. Kepler will bat 0 for 2. The Twins might need to hit a couple of two-run home runs here to win this ball game. One error charged to Candelario. Kepler swings through, strike one. Two and one. Tigers, when we get there, either today, and I suspect we will tonight, or throughout the weekend, they have 9 relievers, and they're all right-handed.
Yeah, they just added a new one today, Zach McAllister, who was released and let go by the Cleveland Indians, signed today with the Tigers.
Signed a minor league deal with the Tigers, and so he is with them. Didn't see him for 4 games in Cleveland because he was eventually released. 3-1 to Kepler. Garver on deck.
Zimmermann has not had a strikeout. He has not had a walk. So a 3-1 with a 4-run lead. See if Kepler gets a fastball away. And he does at 85 miles an hour.
3-2 to Kepler.
And you almost have to do it again. No free passes, no walks. That'll make the hitter swing the bat.
Jam shot. And on his way to third, Forsythe. A little comebacker. One down, and now Garver. MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $49.99. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription for MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of the special offer. Infield back with a 4-run lead, and Garver's job at the very least is to get Forsythe in from third.
Just get the ball, if you're worst thing, get the ball past the pitcher on the ground, or just hit a 2-run home run.
There's a pop-up behind first. And Adducci tracking it, and it's Goodrum who doesn't make the catch. Forsythe would have scored. And no error charged, but that's a ball that if he really wanted to catch it, he should have.
Well, I think what Goodrum, he kind of looked up right there, but I think what he maybe was trying to do is catch it and spin at the same time to make the throw home. Maybe took his eye off the ball. He's underneath it. He's got it. He just didn't get leather on it.
Yeah, you're right. I don't even think it touched his glove.
Nope.
A reprieve for Garver, although he would have gotten, I think, a sacrifice fly, but Twins are down 4 runs, not just 1. This one hit to right. It's got some carry. Castellanos chasing it, and he makes the catch on the warning track, and Forsythe will score. And Garver got the run in and made a bid for more. It's 5-2.
Garver picking up his 26th run batted in. So a little comebacker by Kepler advanced Forsythe over to third, and Garver drove him in.
And now Morrison 0 for 2. 2 ground balls that have totaled 3 outs. Garver had a leadoff single in the 4th, and Morrison bounced into a double play. Low, ball 1. Tigers trying to end a 6-game losing streak. They've got a 5-2 lead. One and 1. Another ground ball. Ducey with a flip. And Zimmerman on the bag. Twins get one thanks to the error to Candelario. It's 5-2.
Vanessa's family. That's your pops right there? I'll get him. There you go. There you go. He's here by circle.
Vanessa Lambert, our producer. Michigan native, Michigander, I guess you call them, right? So in Minnesota, we're Minnesotans, Californians, Floridians.
Floridians, yeah.
And here they're Michiganders. Candelario with a strikeout, a walk, a run scored, and a costly error.
Well, Santana's given up a couple 2-run home runs after the walk, but This is an important inning for him. Stretch it out right here. Longest outing, 5 1/3 innings. Help build that arm up. Needs a quick inning here.
2-2. Fouled over by the Twins dugout. I think we mentioned this a week or so ago that you look at the American League Central standings and maybe you think the gaps are wider than they should be. Maybe you think not. Here's a ball rolled towards second. Forsythe charges and flips one away. But you look at Cleveland on top, the Twins second, the Tigers third, the White Sox fourth, and the Royals fifth. And I don't know, most people probably would have picked those 5 teams in that order, wouldn't you think, in February?
Yeah, somewhere. You knew that Detroit, Chicago, Kansas City were rebuilding.
Right.
Everybody expected, I think, the Twins to be a little bit closer to Cleveland than they are right now, 11 games back.
I think if anything, some people might have thought the White Sox would be a third place team and the Tigers would be fourth or fifth. So you'll give credit to the manager and the coaching staff. We talk so much about Ron Gardenhire, but of course that's off the glove of Santana. And now with Martinez running, they're still able to get him at first. Wow. Off the glove of Santana, and then that's not something you practice. And so Mauer and Santana had to just kind of make eye contact and maybe verbal contact to get the out.
Well, they continued the defense too right there. Even though Santana, deflected that ball, a lot of times you'll see the pitcher being upset and not going to first base. But right here, off of his glove, you can see Santana taking the different route. He thought about going after the ball, but Joe got it. And Santana becomes the first baseman and makes the play. So the play going 1-3-1.
35 years of doing this. I don't know that I've ever written that on my score sheet. 1-0 to Goodrum. We're talking about the Tiger coaches, and of course Rick Anderson is the pitching coach now. He was the bullpen coach. Joe Vavra, Steve Little also on the staff here in Detroit. Goodrum is retired, and we head to the 7th with the Tigers up 5-2.
Both the Twins runs are unearned for the Tigers. It's two-run home runs, one by Nico Goodrum, that in the 4th inning, and then in the 5th off the bat of Jose Iglesias, a 2-run home run.
And so it's a 5-2 ball game, and Jake Cave will lead off the 7th against Jordan Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmerman out there for his 7th inning of work. 89 pitches, just 64 for strikes.
First pitch line foul over the Tiger dugout, 1 strike. pulled on the ground, fouled, didn't miss the bag by much. 0-2.
Well, I mentioned earlier that Zimmerman had only 4 quality starts coming into this ball game in 15 starts, and he's looking to have back-to-back quality starts.
Alex Wilson getting loose. Again, one of the 9 right-handed relievers that the Tigers have. Checked his swing. Oh, and Angel Hernandez said he went. And Cave is gone on 3 pitches, 1 away.
I thought he went right there, and Zimmerman picks up his first strikeout for the first out here in the 7th inning.
Cave didn't react otherwise, so take a look at it.
Well, hard breaking ball right here. You see the ball drop on the other side of the plate.
The wrist broke, as they say. 1 down. Here's Adrianza. Singled his last time up. Outside, ball 1. Check swing again. You're talking about how the Twins have entered a rebuilding phase, but with Brian Dozier, Eduardo Escobar, et cetera, Lance Lynn all being dealt for prospects. 2-0.
Fernando Rodney recently.
But yet you look at the nucleus of this team, if healthy and productive. I'm going to be very disappointed if next year's Twins team isn't a lot better than this year's team. There's a lot of money that's coming off the books and can be reinvested. There's a ball lined to right, a base hit. You look at the Twins' entry into the free agent market, and you'd be hard pressed to say that Lance Lynn, Jake Odorizzi, or not Jake Odorizzi, but Logan Morrison. I mean, they haven't paid off as anticipated, signing as free agents. Not blaming the failures of the team on those 2 players, but if you are fortunate to make good picks out of the free agent market and some other players can develop. Good outing for Zimmerman. He'll leave the ball game here after the 1-out single, going through the Twins lineup 3 times and not allowing an earned run.
Annual Players Weekend jersey nicknames were announced yesterday, and like last year, there's some well-known nicknames like Jose Barrios La Máquina, but then of course there's some new ones. Logan Forsythe, Logie Bear, that's his wife's pet name for him that he never intended for teammates to know, but it's stuck. Gabriel Moya is Little Gordado after his rookie dress-up day costume was Eddie Gordado's uniform. My favorite though, Taylor Rogers, is M. Rogers. And guys, it's because his first choice of Mr. Rogers was flagged for trademark infringement. He said apparently being my official self is against the law. So he just went with a simple M. Rogers to poke fun at the whole situation, guys.
I mean, he is Mr. Rogers. Why can't he put that on his jersey? If I was to formally address him as Mr. Rogers, I would get in trouble. Alex Wilson pitching for the Tigers.
Wilson making his 41st relief appearance. This is his 4th season with the Tigers. Also pitched for the Boston Red Sox for a couple years.
And again, after Players Weekend, this time the Twins will be at home, but the Twins have an off day the next day, and I've declared that Announcers Monday, where baseball announcers can wear whatever they want.
And you have approval for that?
I've self-declared.
Good luck.
This is down the left field line. It's going to be a tough play. It's going to be a tough play. Oh, what a catch by Candelario. Sprinting down the left field line. He made the catch on the short pop fly.
Yeah, Polanco got a base hit in the first inning when he inside out of the ball down that left field line. But Candelario does a great job. This ball looked like it was going to fall between them, but he reached out the last second, almost snow coned that ball into his glove. Look at that right there. What a great catch.
So Mauer retired. He's got an 0 for 4 night going. Rosario is 0 for 3. And the Twins, who did a nice job in Cleveland scoring late in the ball games, going to have to do it again here tonight if they're going to win this ball game. Down 3 runs. Rosario hit the ball hard his last time up, lining out to Goodrum at second. There's a high fly to right. Easy catch for Castellanos in right. So Wilson does the job, and then we head to the bottom of the 7th. Detroit still up by 3. At Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Dodge. Join the brotherhood of muscle at the Dodge Summer Clearance event and get a great deal. Tigers in front. And Oliver Drake's going to come out of the pen to pitch to the Tigers in the bottom of the 7th inning.
It'll be a second appearance for Oliver Drake in a Twins uniform. Now he's pitched for 5 different teams now this year, which is a major league record, but those are the numbers overall for Drake. He pitched against the Kansas City Royals back on the 4th of August, a shutout inning.
All right, before we get too far into Oliver Drake, how would you assess Irvin Santana's 6 innings here tonight?
Well, other than, the walks seem to I don't like walks, but you know what? He's a guy that does give up home runs. He's given up 313 now home runs in his career, but okay. I don't give him an A. I give him probably a B. I give him a B.
Okay.
I'm an early, easy teacher. There he threw 94 pitches, 55 for strikes. The home runs, of course, hurt him. Both of them 2-run home runs. Couple walks, 5 strikeouts. Drake, a guy that has an awkward type of delivery. I talked to him about that. It was a little pop fly, softly hit to Polanco for the first out.
If you're game for a little excitement, head to foxsportsnorth.com, submit a photo and message for the opportunity to be featured in the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle during our broadcast and receive $100 in scratch tickets. With the Minnesota Lottery, every day is game day. One away. James McCann will bat, a bouncer to short and a strikeout so far.
No, I was saying in Cleveland, I asked Oliver Drake about his delivery, how he came up with it. He said he used to be, a little more upright, but he just finds that this is so much more comfortable to where he just drops his arm and just basically airs it out. He's got a great split finger.
Gets into the position there with a bent back leg.
You could see him with that baseball on his right side already set up for the splitter if he decides to throw it. There's a good fastball at 92, straight over the top. 6'4", 230. Oliver Drake, 31 years old. Claimed off waivers by the Twins from the Toronto Blue Jays. Started the season with the Brewers, pitched for them, pitched for the Indians, pitched for the Angels, pitched for Toronto.
All this year.
All this year, yep.
1-1. 2-1, excuse me, is the count. Fouled back. We talked about his unique delivery in the context of a bullpen staff. Ideally, I think, having different looks that they can give different hitters, and the Twins certainly have that with Trevor Hildenberger. And now Drake. Zach Duke was kind of a sidearm left-hander, was really effective against left-handed batters. Cracked his bat, and that'll land foul. And I guess that stands to reason. I mean, most teams now have 8 relievers. The last thing you'd want would be to have 8 similar deliveries out there.
Well, I don't think too many guys can throw the ball like Drake can. Hildenberger, another one.
Two and two.
Mentioned before, Drake signed by the Orioles out of the Naval Academy. Served his time. Had the opportunity to sign baseball. And took the opportunity.
Missing down and in, 93 miles per hour. Fouled away. A lot has changed around McCann too in his time with the Tigers, from a contending team, a division championship team, to whatever lies ahead for the Tigers. Probably neither a contending team nor a championship team in the foreseeable future. Of course, being a catcher, having to catch the flood of different pitchers that make up a rebuilding staff. And a walk to McCann, putting him aboard with 1 out. There will be, till it's proven otherwise, there will be very little structure to the end of the ball game in terms of when the starter leaves. There's not an established closer. There's not really an established setup guy unless you wanted to count Hildenberger and Rogers. But, you know, one of those two guys might get a chance to close some ball games, pick up some saves. Here is Jones.
And that's basically what Paul said right there. You know, I mean, he's going to take a coin and do the old flip a coin. See how the game works out. Hopefully we'll find out here soon who decides on if the Twins come back and get closer, tie the game. Let's find out.
Want to know the trade of Fernando Rodney was announced after the team, including Rodney, arrived here in Detroit last night. And the Twins will see Fernando Rodney here shortly. Twins have yet to play the A's this year. They've got the A's coming in for 4 games later this month, and then they go to Oakland for 3. 1-1. High fly to left. Rosario with a long run toward the corner. So if the Twins want to dust off the introductory video that they made for Fernando Rodney, probably wouldn't have the same effect, would it, coming out of the visiting bullpen?
Well, there's some guys that you know, have some experience. Hildenberger, some saves in the minor leagues. Moya, just 23 years old. Addison Reed has the most experience, but he's been really struggling as of late. And then y'all got to look at Taylor Rogers too, in a situation with a couple lefties coming up in the 9th inning. He might get that opportunity.
Duffy really pitched well in Rochester. And remember, Duffy has some experience closing games in college. He was the Rice University closer. So we'll see how it plays out. Twins have to get some leads to protect in the late innings. That hasn't been the easiest thing to do here lately. 0-2 now to Gerber. Oh, and 2 from Drake to Gerber.
Splitter
Popped up. And Rosario trots under it.
Good inning.
And Drake does have a hitless 7th inning.
My goodness. And also in Philadelphia.
And you wonder how long the Brewers, or how the Brewers will be able to rebound after just a a crushing loss yesterday. Jimenez will pitch now for the Tigers after a good inning in the 7th by Wilson. It'll be Jimenez, and then one would think Green in the 9th.
Yeah, Jimenez has been used a lot out of that bullpen, making his 53rd relief appearance. 48 1/3 innings, only 39 hits allowed, 15 walks, 3 intentional, and a hard thrower can pick up 55 strikeouts.
3, 4, and 5 batters: Polanco, Forsythe, and Kepler. Squaring and taking up an in, ball 1.
Jimenez, just 23 years old, big man, 6'3", about 220, from Puerto Rico. Signed by the Tigers as a free agent back in 2013.
1-0. Foul back. He's got to be more than 220.
Yeah.
I'm 6'3", 220. One and one.
I only go off with the media.
I know you do. And
he's a big man.
Just don't know when they weighed him.
Probably when he was about 10 years old.
I was going to say who the U.S. president was. Just outside, 2-1. Polanco with a couple of hits, single and a double in the 1st and 3rd, and then a ground ball to 1st in the 5th. Rolled right to Goodrum. 1 down. Cancer seems to impact everyone in Twins territory. You can join us August 14th and show your support for cancer awareness. Supporters purchasing tickets through the special theme night ticket package will receive a Twins cancer awareness hat. The color of the Twins logo on the front of the hat corresponds to the color associated with the most prevalent cancers seen throughout Twins territory. To learn more and join the Twins in their effort to strike out cancer, visit twinsbaseball.com/cancer awareness. Outside, ball 1. Forsythe has reached all 3 times, twice with hits and once on an error. Swung on and missed, 1-1.
Yeah, see, I didn't have the Tiger media guide. They list him at 6'3", 272.
Okay.
So that's
what media guide were you?
I was doing player profile.
That was
.com.
Houston Jimenez, who used to play short for the Twins, weighed 220.
No, it was Joe.
Right field, slicing toward Castellanos. 2 down. The 270 part, I believe. And
you don't believe the 6'2"?
Well, I'll believe that part too.
Okay.
It was the 220 I had a hard time with. 2 down, and here's Kepler. 0 for 3 on the night.
We're all built different, aren't we? Jimenez actually made his major league debut last year in April against the Twins.
Down and in, ball 1.
Pitched 1 shutout inning in relief. Only 23 years old. Still a baby.
Pretty good bet that eventually he'll be a closer here in Detroit. But they want him to get his feet, ankles, and knees wet in the 8th inning role.
That's basically what he did in the minor leagues as a closer. 56 minor league saves in 153 games.
2-1. Three and 1. Garver on deck.
He's from the same town. Well, he's from San Juan. Excuse me. I thought he was from the media guide. And see, it's completely different than I have here. The media guy says he's from Bayamon, Puerto Rico, and that's where Jose Barrios is from. I'm going to have to get the media guide earlier. I had him from San Juan.
Popped up, backing out of play.
So they probably work out together, Jimenez and Barrios.
Barrios just walks around in Jimenez's shade when it gets hot. I mean, it just kind of walks around and.
Yep.
3-2.
You think he pulls cars and stuff like that like Jose does?
A high fly deep down the right field line.
That could be trouble.
Castellanos chasing it, and that ball is.
Oh no, he caught it.
Caught in the corner by Castellanos. He may have taken a home run away from Kepler. Was it headed over the wall or not? No. A nice catch.
Great catch right there. Wow. Close your eyes. Ball finds your glove.
Now in the bottom of the 8th inning, Jose Iglesias will lead things off against Oliver Drake.
Oliver Drake starting his second inning of relief of Santana. Iglesias hit a 2-run home run off of Santana in the 5th inning after Santana walked Gerber.
1-0. On the ground, nice pickup by Adrianza on the backhand side on target to Mauer.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC. A nice little backhanded play by Adrianza.
Castellanos will bat. Fouled back, a strike. Castellanos has become the Tigers' most dangerous hitter, of course, in the absence of Miguel Cabrera, who blew his arm out, his elbow out on a swing against the Twins, the first trip Minnesota made to Detroit. Done for the year. To the backstop.
That's a shame, because I always like that. Watch that guy play, Miguel Cabrera.
Probably wouldn't have enjoyed pitching to him, but yes, I know what you mean. He's just fun to watch. great for the game, and the game is a better game when the better players are playing. That's what's discouraging about Mike Trout. Even though the Angels are kind of having a lost season of their own, Trout on the disabled list now. He's not going to play for a little while.
Let's take a look at the last pitch to Castellanos. There's that split finger right there, straight down.
Another roller, fair ball. Another nice play by Adrianza. And a strong throw across the diamond. 2 down. Back-to-back nice plays by the Twins' third baseman. Twins have never had a long history of split finger pitchers. You know, Kevin Tapani had one. Of course, Jack Morris had one. Mark Guthrie from the left side threw one. But for the most part, it's not something that the Twins organization has encouraged. Eddie Guardado developed one.
Yeah, later in his career.
Right.
Yeah.
Candelario, the batter. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th.
One of the best. Bruce Sutter had a great one. Well, Jack had a great one too. Morris. You know, he credits really that split finger to get him going to where he became the pitcher he was, a Hall of Fame pitcher.
Crediting
Milt Wilcox. Yeah. Of course, they had Roger Craig, who kind of took that from the Giants over to the Tigers, that split finger, but it was Milt Wilcox that Jack said really helped him develop.
Take a look at this last pitch, and there it is, and now it's not there anymore. Replay brought to you by Carrier. 0-2 right off the end of the bat.
And that's exactly what Jack wants, what Suter got out of that split finger. It looks like the fastball, and then the bottom just drops out of it.
Juan Berenguer had one.
Yes, he did.
Shane Green warming up for the 9th, one would think. 0-2. Berenguer was one of the few who would regularly throw it for a strike. Start it high and drop it into the strike zone. Usually it's a chase pitch. It looks like a fastball in the strike zone and drops out. But I remember Berenguer many times would throw it. It would be up around the letters or the collarbone, and it would just drop over for a called strike. 1-2.
Well, he had a rubber arm. Juan did.
You want me to start? I'll start. You want me to pitch 3 innings out of the pen? I'll do that. How about just the 8th inning? Fine.
Just give me the ball.
Fouled away. Of course, you guys in '87 were so thin in starting pitching.
Yeah, he started some ball
He
games
did. I'm going to look it up here in my media guide. Berenguer made 6 starts in 1987. 1-2 to Candelario. Did he go? Check swing. Nope. 2-2. Well, this is just a great opportunity for Drake, not just tonight, but one would think the balance of August and into September. A great opportunity for him to, if not grow some roots in one organization, get a chance to regularly pitch, which is, I'm sure, as he's bounced around, all he's ever wanted to do. Let me be the Juan Berenguer and get a chance to pitch. You want me to go 3 innings one day and 1 inning a couple days later? Fine, I'll do that, but get me out there. 2-2. It's kind of hard to do that when you're starting and stopping and get going in one organization and then sent through waivers and whatever, and you can't really get any traction.
He said for a while there his best friend was the chain link fence in his backyard, just to throw it against.
Right. Yeah.
Get some throwing in.
2-2.
Finish him off right here.
And he did with a nasty splitter. Couple of good innings for Drake, but the Twins need 3 to tie in the ninth. Involved in 2 plays, it could have been triples.
Right there. I mean, he smoked this ball over the head of Jones. Deepest part of the field, tripped around second, scooted back to second, so a double for Cave. And then later, made a great catch off the fence, basically in deep center field, 420 feet away.
If he doesn't catch that, I think Nico Goodrum would have had a triple. Shane Green will pitch for the Tigers to the Twins in the ninth, starting with Mitch Garver trying to pick up a save with the Tigers up by 3.
Yeah, Green in his 4th season with the Tigers, looking for save number 24 on the year.
And while he's out there, as the Twins hope to come back, I think a lot of people a little surprised that Green is still with the Tigers. But you could imagine the Tigers doing what the Twins apparently did yesterday or over the last couple of days with Fernando Rodney, trying to send him through waivers. And if a team were to claim Shane Green, then it would be up to the Tigers and that team to try to swing a deal, and that might still happen. Green at times has been really effective. Gets ahead of Garver here, 0-1. Tapper to short. Easy play for Iglesias, 1 away. That'll bring up Morrison. Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball wherever you go.
Yeah, Green one time a starter when he first came up with the Yankees, and then his basically first year here in Detroit was a starter. Then they put him in the bullpen, and he's taken off.
He came over here right away. Won like something his first 4 or 5 starts. He was off to a great start, and then everybody almost at once seemed to figure him out. Probably would not go to a contending team as a closer. Here is Morrison. 1 strike.
Well, he's always had that good fastball. He's got a slider and a changeup. Little cut fastball. He'll run in on left-handed hitters. Green spent a little bit of time on a disabled list, had some right shoulder issues, but that was on the 10-day DL back in early July.
Just off the plate, 1-1.
That's that backdoor slider he just missed with. You see where McCann is set up. Just off the plate.
1-1. Good take at 95. So as teams try to bolster their bullpen, as the A's did yesterday getting Rodney, then you look around, you go, well, Where would Green fit in, say, with the Yankees? Well, probably not. They're pretty good shape with their bullpen, right? The Red Sox, well, they're probably in pretty good shape too. Maybe Houston. 2-1. 2-2.
How about Cleveland?
I was getting there.
Yeah.
I was getting there. The Indians have added, of course, Brad Hand. They hope Andrew Miller will pitch as effectively as he did against the Twins. If anything, they might need some help from the right side. Cody Allen is at least vulnerable. 2-2 to Logan Morrison.
But with the waiver wire too, I mean, you put Green on waivers, you show the interest. Would it even get to the Cleveland Indians? You know, they're leading their division.
It got to Oakland yesterday or whenever with
somehow.
Fernando Rodney. And
right. Nice crowd here tonight, 24,849.
2-2. Hit hard to center. But Jones is there. 2 away. We get started an hour earlier tomorrow, and a good friend, Francisco Liriano. That's how good of friends we are. I forgot his first name. Francisco Liriano will go for the Tigers against Kyle Gibson.
Oh, you got Kyle right.
Yeah.
You guys must be really good friends.
Well, Liriano has had some good moments for the Tigers and some not so good moments.
He spent a little time on the DL too, so look for fastball, hard slider tomorrow from Mr. Liriano.
Cave trying to keep this game alive for the Twins. Adrianza in the on-deck circle. And Green pours in a first pitch strike.
Well, pretty much right down the heart. Get ahead. 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
0-1. That's headed up the middle into center field, and Cave does keep the game alive. Just out of the reach of Iglesias, and now Adrianza will hit.
Yeah, Jake picking up his second hit, a double in his first at bat, and right there fought it off and hit it up the middle.
Adrianza has hits in his last 2 at bats, and then that would bring up Mauer. The Twins do have some power on the bench in Miguel Sano and Tyler Austin.
McCann going out and pointing toward first base.
And McCann wants Adduci to come into the mound here. What's all this about? Jake Cave's looking at Jeff Smith saying, what's this all about?
Well, McCann was looking into the dugout, so either Steve Little or Ron Gardenhire, somebody wanting to see how they play it here.
Twins are down 3 runs. The only possible play would be a bunt play by Adrianza.
So Adduci not holding Cave on.
3 infielders on the right side. Fouled off a leg, 1 strike. Twins have out-hit the Tigers 9-3, but they're down by 3 runs. Talked about the Tigers' lack of power, yet they've hit 2 home runs and the Twins haven't hit one. And now 2 strikes. Adrianza's down to his team's last strike. Not by much. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just missed with that slider away, almost like a little cutter.
Good take, good call. And now 2-2. Tigers and Twins have split the first 6 games. Tigers are 1 strike away from taking the lead in the season series. Pulled foul. Two and 2 to Adrianza. Not a pitch up at 96, and Adrianza got a piece of it.
Yeah, good at bat right here for Adrianza. Get on base here. Give Mauer a chance.
Another 2-2.
Whoa. Wow.
Close. 3-2. Mauer on deck. Let's take a look. Was it in? Did it come close to being in the box? No.
Tell you what, I think Angel Hernandez has done a good job.
I think he has too.
Back behind the plate.
Cave will take off early. Mauer hoping for a chance. Foul back. Twins scored the first run of the game. The Tigers enjoy the lead thanks to a pair of 2-run home runs.
Pitch number 9 in this at bat.
Number 19 for Green. A drive right center field. This is hit pretty well. Castellanos chasing it. He won't get there. A great at bat for Adrianza. He's got an RBI double, and it's 5-3. What a battle won by the Twins' third baseman.
A 9-pitch at bat. Finally got a ball on the barrel of his bat and drove it a long way. Castellanos out in right field. He just took off. He was hoping to catch up to it, but got over his head. So a big RBI double for Adrianza. There are all the pitches. And where's number 9? High, uppercut swing. Castellanos sprinting to where he thought the ball would be. It was. It's an RBI double.
Mauer 0 for 4, trying to keep the game alive for Rosario. Strike on the outside corner. Joe's bounced out 3 times and popped to the third baseman. Candelario made a great running catch down the left field line. Inside, 1-1.
You got Rosario and his power on deck.
10 hits for the Twins. 7 of them have come after the second out. But they're still down a couple of runs. Foul away, and it's 1-2. So far tonight, Maurer is 0 for 4, and Rosario is 0 for 4, and they might each get a chance.
And Matt McGill just getting loose. You never know.
One and 2 to Maurer. 2-2. He's actually made a bid for a hit in each of his last 2 at bats. Adduci made a nice play on him in the 5th, and then Candelario's play on him in the 7th. 2-2. Tapper to short. Easy play for Iglesias. And the Tigers hang on and win it 5-3.
Well, Twins gave him a scare at the end, but it's a 2-run home runs by those 2 men right there that helped the Tigers defeat the Twins here tonight.
Tom Hanneman, a former Twin, very briefly at the big league level, but Nico Goodrum, Twins are going to have to find a way to get him out because he's hit 11 home runs this year, 3 of them against the Twins.